Howdy folks, we're going to do something a little different here today. Of course, some of y'all know I'm still healing up from surgery, and my surgeon said I couldn't do anything till, well, my wife said my wife just told me second week in January, but we'll see. That's the area where he said I can do much. I can't even bend over. Afraid of tearing something, and it's safe. I'm not going to try to bend over, guys. I'm not on any pain medicine, so that's good. Went off of that on Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday, so I've been great. So I need to make something for a giveaway for Sunday. So this was my idea. I got a couple other ideas coming too. We're gonna do some hair jig ties, okay? And I'm gonna do a video all about jigs. A lot of y'all come on and ask me, what weight am I using? What jig am I using? You keep asking about the little short jig. Okay, I'm gonna give you all that information in the next video for next week. Okay? I've got to get up in my boat. I can't get my boat right now. I got to get my wife to get up my boat and get some of my jig boxes out so I can help y'all. I found that jig I've been using in deep water. If you watched the open water crappie video, I found some of them. I'll tell you all about that too, okay? But what we're going to do today is we're going to paint jigs. Now, before I get started, somebody's going to give me a hard time. That ain't the way to do it. I'm going to show you the way to paint jigs without buying a bunch of materials, without buying a fluid bed and all that. Now guys, I've got a fluid bed. I made one. You buy the little aquarium pump, been there, done that. It does a good job. You can do just as good a job without, I'm telling you. Unless you're painting jigs for a living. This is what I'm saying. Unless you're painting jigs for a living and selling them to somebody, and you're painting thousands of jigs sitting down on a Saturday, you don't need that. If you're painting jigs just for you, and you're buying plain lead jigs like this for me, or somebody, and you just want to make your own, this is what this video is about. If you're a professional jig maker, please don't beat me up. I'm not a professional jig maker. I'm trying to help the people that never been around it and want to do their own jigs. You can buy a can of this. Everything has went up, as y'all know. Everything's went up. This was about $5. I think I looked the other night. I think there's almost $7 now. This is chartreuse. Now I'm using two different kinds. This is Protect, okay? Now this is called Stardust, I think, with the name. Let's see if it's wrote on here somewhere. Yeah, it's called Stardust. I was right. It's hard to read with some of these fancy labels. But this is a rubber base. Now y'all notice you buy jigs from me. A lot of y'all are buying jigs from me. That the pink, the red, and the blue is Stardust. It paints a little different. And I'm gonna show you. This paints much easier. The Protect is much easier to use. Alright? But the advantage of the Stardust, okay, it's a rubberized finish. It doesn't come off very easy. You know, you can chip this off. Alright? Now, I'll mention this now and probably get in a few minutes. Once you paint the jigs, I hang them here to dry. I can take this whole little thing I made. I just made this, guys. It ain't nothing fancy. I just make you something to hang them on. I can take that out there and put it in my toaster oven and set it for like 250 degrees. All right, different people will tell you different things, but if you research it, around 250 degrees, and leave it in there for 15, 20, 25 minutes. All right, and it's supposed to make them harder. All right, you do not have to do that. That's supposed to make them harder. I have done that with jigs, and I have done them without that, fishing with myself. Okay, if you're hitting the bottom, if you're casting out there with the 1/16, and you're letting it come down, and she's smacking the bottom hard, after a while she's going to chip off. All right. The rubberized is the toughest. If you want something that don't chip off easy, go with the Stardust. Alright? Because it does not chip off easy, and you don't have to do that second baking either. I wanted to try it. I read about it. I like the colors in it, so I went for it. Alright? So I'm not going to paint all these colors, but let's paint in the video. Alright? Let me start over. You see what I've done here? I just shook this a couple times. Alright. I've done it to fluff it up. I didn't stop and say that, okay? I've done that to fluff it up some. You can also take a stick. I've done that. A little small pin or stick and stir it around. Now, before I get started making this noise with this heat gun, I'm going to tell you something. I use a heat gun. I watched somebody last night. They was using a torch. That's fine. Heat gun works fine. The smaller this lead is, when you go from a 1/32 to a 1/16, I don't have many 1/16s in the 4. I got two jigs in a 1/16 in the size 4. That's all I got left, guys. The rest of them are over in packages to be sold. I will reorder 1st of January. The 1/16 to the 1/32, yeah, it's twice the difference in size, right? You need to hold the 1/16 over the heat longer than you do 1/32. Do you know what happens if you hold over the heat gun too long? Ah, that's right, I heard you. It'll fall off down in the heat gun. You actually melt the lead off the hook. Have I done it before? Yeah. I've done about probably 3 lately, guys, because I timed it too long. So what I usually do, we'll start with the 1/16. What I usually do is I use pliers. I've tried different stuff. Find a pair of pliers that open and shut easy. I'm going to tell you. I took an old these, I fooled with them to get them where I want them. If the pliers are stiff, when you're trying to dump the jig off, it's very difficult. All right? And I've tried different holders, I've tried tweezers and different stuff, but I found this pair of pliers right here. I've got 3 or 4 pair right here to be the easiest pair to work with, all right? And it's a cheap pair, probably a $4 pair from Walmart or something. I don't know where they came from. I think it came out of my son. I made my son a toolbox when he was like 6 to keep him out of my tools. I think that's where it came from. All right, you ready? I'm gonna cut this on. That's low, that's high. I'm gonna cut it on low. All right. And here's what I do. I turn it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dip it. All right. Now, what I do after I dip it, I reheat it and I'm watching it. You can see it go liquid. Okay. Now, if I'm not happy with it, I'll put another coat on it. All right. Now, I can see it going liquid. I'm watching it. All right. You see how it went liquefied? Now what I do, I dump it off. I come right here, upside down. I get where y'all can see me, I think. Drop it. Guys, I tried to set this camera up in different ways before I started, so please bear with me. Once I got started, my wife left to go somewhere, and she went to mail some packages at the post office for y'all and stuff. Once I got started, I realized that it might have been better if I had my headpiece on or a neck piece on. I got a camera that goes on a neck thing. It would probably been better for this, and maybe I could fit off both cameras, but it's too late now. It is what it is, so I got to have this for tomorrow, so I'm keeping on going. Now this is a 1/32. I don't need to hold it as long. Okay? Again, don't be afraid. You can always dip it back. The heat helps the paint stick to it, to the lead. Now I'm watching it. I'm going to put a second coat on it. When I seen it start liquefying, okay, it doesn't take much. The 1/32 is going to be easier. See there? Alright? Now, let's let these cool. Alright? So once you get started, see, you don't take that long. Now I can turn it up on high and be faster. But you need to learn how long to hold it on high, or you'll be melting a lot of lead off the hooks. Alright? Now let's do a Stardust one. Now I know a lot of guys say, oh, I don't dip mine but once. Put how much you want on there, guys. If you want a pretty color, put how much you want on. If you want to put 3 coats, put 3 coats on there. But if you took too much, what happens when you heat it, especially in smaller heads, you get too much. When you hang it there or sit it down, it'll get a little droop on it. Do the crappie care? No. The crappie do not. I ain't biting that one there. She got a little lump on it. No, they don't do that, guys. Y'all know better. If they're feeding, they're feeding, right? When they're picky, that's a different story. Now, I see guys, I watched one last night, he was putting eyes on them. They were beautiful, all right? That takes a different style head, it's flat on it, gluing eyes and stuff in it. He sells them, I reckon. I didn't even think about how much they cost, but I guarantee you, I buy eyes for swim baits for bass, and I know how much they are. And do the eyes help? Yeah, I think the eyes would be an add something, especially when the fish is a little finicky. I think the eyes could make a difference, right? Again, at times it doesn't make any difference. Now, again, I'm going to make another video down the road. See, the Stardust kind of piles up on it. Alright, got some on the shank, that's fine. That ain't going to hurt nothing. Now, I'm watching it. I'm watching it to melt. Now, again, it's like a rubber base. They take a little longer. I see it melting. Alright. See there? See how shiny she is there? Yep. Now, I'm going to show you something about that paint. When the Stardust is bad about this, what I do, this is a guitar string. Alright? Y'all know I used to play a lot of instruments. I don't play anymore. I don't have time. I take that, run it through there, bam, open. Alright? I just took it. This is a crimp-on weight. It's a bullet weight, one of the crimp-on ones. Alright? That's what I do. Alright? Nothing else, you learn one little trick. You just take a guitar weight. These crimp on like split shot, but they're bullet weight shape. And I just took it, crimped it on there, and that's what I use to clean it. Now once it's dry like that, bam. Now, this takes a while. To sit down and do this takes a while, guys. You want me to do a bigger one with that? Let's do one more in the sawdust. Stardust. I can say it. Stardust. I think I said sawdust. Woo! And hey, I'm off the drugs now. And my wife said today, she said, you reckon all that stuff's out of your system? I said, I hope so. That was nasty. I hear people talking about getting on painkillers. Oh, gosh. Not me. Feels bad. Made me feel bad, guys. I'm watching how long it's melting. It's bigger, so it's going to take it longer. Right now, it's lumpy. Looks like a golf ball. Alright, she's starting to melt better. Like I said, this stuff, the powder stardust powder takes longer, right? There it went. See it smoking a little bit too, probably. Alright? But the reason I use it, want to try it, and I like it, it's super tough. I didn't like the chartreuse color in it. That's why. I know somebody's going to like, well, Dennis, why'd you buy the chartreuse and orange and that too? I did not like the chartreuse color in it. It didn't look bright enough. I wanted the bright chartreuse, okay? Alright, now, that's how you can paint your own jigs. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show y'all one more trick. I'll cut this off. Let's see if they cooled enough. Alright, before you put them in the oven, if you're going to put them in the oven, like again, that's not a have to, that's up to you. It just makes them harder. Before you put them in the oven, you ever seen one of these? Alright, let's go back to one we know it's cool. Alright, I do this on every jig I sell. Alright, you take that little point on that thing, it's got a little point on it, you put it in there and just kind of wobble it a little bit around. Alright, cleaned it up right up. You used to buy these at Walmart, guys. I don't know, they shouldn't be that hard to find. I have a couple of them. I've owned them for years. Guys, I used to fish with, I talked about sometime in my videos. I used to fish with 3-inch and 4-inch grubs for bass a lot. Back in the 80s, guys, yeah, I'm giving up my age a little bit, guys. I'm 28. Back in the 80s, we used 3 and 4-inch grubs on 1/8 inch heads, and you could go down the lake bank and throw them toward the bank in the lake. I can get it straight here, and reel them back slow like you would a swim bait now or a spinner bait. There's one lake we went to. We would catch 30, 40, 50 bass a day a piece. Just on that. Yeah, people would stop and like, man, every time I look around, you got a bass on. Alright, and they wasn't monstrous bass. Once in a while we catch a 4-pounder. Most of them were 10 to 16 inches. Alright, so that's how you can clean the eyes. So I've been fooling with leadhead jigs. I used to pour my own then. I don't pour anymore. I don't even have all the equipment. When I moved here, I got rid of a lot of stuff, guys. When you move 3 hours away from where you live, you don't haul everything you can. You get rid of a lot of stuff. So I've been here 23 years on Lake Gaston. Since then, I've been buying jigs like that. Now here, let me show you one more thing. I'm going to get out of y'all's hair, and I'm going to tell you what you're going to win today. Alright. This is how I keep my jigs. These are jigs to sell. I sit down and paint. I fill up these cavities. I got 8s, size 8, 1/32, size 8, 1/16, 6s. Yep. And that's what I do. If I see one's got a flaw in it, it goes over here and I use it. Alright, try to give you all pretty ones. Alright? And you see the pink is right, the pink is right pretty. And I like the pink. Now I'm going to do a video. I don't want to get too far into this. Isn't that right pretty? That's a stardust. I use these to pick them up so I get them in my hands all the time. But I store them like that. Then I sit down at night and I got plastic containers. If y'all bought jigs, you know they come in a little plastic container. And I got a label maker here a while back. So if you buy anything I made lately that has a new label on it. So we're growing this business and doing the best we can to change it. Alright, so there you go. Check them out. I have jigs in size 8 hook. Okay. Size 6 hooks. Alright. Like these are 1/16 size 6s. And size 4. Next week I will talk about which size bait is best. Now, some of y'all commented to me once when I go, LC shad, what should I be using? You use a size 4. So I'm going to talk about that next week. I'm going to pull some of my baits out. We're going to put the different hooks in them. And I see guys on YouTube have great big old size number 2 hooks and 1.5 inch bait. And it's coming out up past its tail. Are they still catching fish? Yes. And one of them said the other day, well, I watched, he said, I know that don't look very good, but it catches fish. That's right, it still catches fish. But I'm picky. If you put a bait on, I want it to look good before I cast it. I know some of y'all probably feel the same way. If you're looking at it and going like, nah, you're not going to cast it. Why? You lost your confidence in it. That's what's important too, right? If you ain't got confidence in a bait, you're not going to catch fish in it. That's why I'm making baits, making videos. I'm making the baits, fishing with those baits in the videos so y'all can see that they catch fish. All right? Appreciate y'all guys. There you go. I'm going to finish painting this pack of 1/32 number 4s. What I got. I don't have any 1/16 but 2. And that's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to paint the orange, 2 of each color. You go get a pack of baits. Plus, I've got some on-end plastic baits over here in the bag. I got some smoke color and things like that I made last year. I made a bunch of them just for giveaways. And I add those when you win on the Wednesday night. You get some of those. I got like 3 different colors. And I'm going to pack you up some of those. So you'll get some jigs and some baits. All right? Put your number down, 1 through 400. Same routine. Okay, I just don't have the fishing part, guys. And like I said, I'm not able to. Make sure you're a subscriber. Hit that box. If it's black, you're not a subscriber. Hit that. Okay? Leave your comment. Leave your number first. My number's 122. Thanks, Dennis. You're a super nice guy, you know. And I'll comment back to you. And we'll do a draw on Wednesday night. Random number, I hit it. The only criteria I have is you can't go over the number. If it gives us the number 150 and you got 155, you're not going to win. If somebody had 145, they're going to win. That separates the winners from the loser. We don't have to argue about it. We don't have to say, well, this guy's closer. No, he's close. Right. Because it could be 2 of the same, right? And I think one time last year I had 2 people gave the same number, and it didn't show the date on it, so I sent 2 packages out. But, you know, be careful. Look down through there and see what number other people leave. And if y'all put your numbers first, it makes it easier, right? Look down through this, what number somebody left, so you don't leave the same number. Because that's easy to happen. Dennis, Fishing Lake Country. Hope I covered everything. See y'all next time, Fishing Lake Country.